happens to somebody, you know they have lost something that means the world to them.
Yeah.
And the weight of that loss and the significance of it, they understand it at the deepest level. Their life is never going to be the same again.
Yeah.
And she didn't have that. She didn't
No.
even. I've seen people look more upset because they went down to the shop and they'd run out of milk and there was no milk in the shop. She
Yeah.
didn't even look like she was inconvenienced.
And that's the glibness.
Yeah.
That is the glibness that kind of comes that fits into those behavioral traits on that checklist.
And
But then we see that so-called display of emotion is for nothing more than manipulation, because it's
yeah,
to
but
get you
it's
to believe something as opposed to portraying something that's real.
because and this is I'm definitely overthinking this, but then that's kind of the
Mm.
purpose of these conversations. If you're going to go down this road, and I'm not telling any psychopaths or wrong uns out there that this is what you should do, but look at people who do press conferences when they've lost their children, who are like distraught parents who have lost their children. That the mum and dad can barely contain themselves, they can barely speak. Typically, one is holding the other one up, and the other
Mm.
one looks fragile anyway. And
Yes.
they can't string a sentence together. They can barely get their words out, and they
String a sentence
always,
together
they can
without
barely
fail,
get their
break
words
down.
out, and they always, without fail, break down.
Yeah, and there's no makeup, there's no dress up clothing,
No,
there's no performance behind it. It's just I've walked out of my front door this morning because I have to, because I need to do this, not for my
yeah,
benefit, but there's something
yeah,
massively
because
wrong that I
the
care
police have
about.
told me it will help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's something wrong that I massively care about, that I don't care about myself in this moment at all. I care about that thing. That thing is the only
Mm.
important thing to me at this time. So anything else can kind of go to hell.
Yeah, and with Susan Smith, yeah, and like I said to you when I was reading up on it, the police were talking about by the second day they were just like, we think she's lying.
Mm,
Um, they didn't know that she'd murdered the children at that point. They didn't know that until after the 9 days. But they knew she was lying. They knew that there was something she wasn't saying, and they
yeah.
knew that she knew more because they just said that the behavior just didn't match what it should be, and she
Well,
wasn't
speaking of
behaving
interviews
correctly.
and that bit, so there was I think she went onto a press conference, a TV show press conference within about the first 2 weeks that's mentioned in this video. And people were they were they were looking at her thinking she looks excited to
Mm,
be on TV, not scared or nervous or apprehensive because her kids are missing, but excited to be on TV. The,
yeah,
the two can't correlate. You can't hold both things together at the same time. If you're distraught, being on TV, you don't care about. You're
yeah.
doing it as a means to an end, not for your 15 minutes of fame.
And they even said in the background she was laughing and joking like it was funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And who does that? Who does that when something so serious is happening around you? When
Well,
something, well, your kids should, as a parent, your kids should be the closest thing to you. And even if you don't have a good relationship with your kids, if one of them goes missing, the only natural, normal response is to be absolutely distraught.
but
Because
you
it's
you
why
see,
nothing's in that moment, nothing can make sense.
yeah,
Nothing.
and when you see people who have lost children, and you see them 5 years later, 10 years later, child died in a car accident or whatever, they don't recover from it.
No.
They always have, there's something missing in their eyes. The way they speak, they never laugh with the same intensity again. There's no, everything is just um like a melancholy that just hangs over them, and
Mm.
they just get on with life. That's all they're doing. They're just getting on with their life, and That's it. But they never had the same joy because something was taken from them.
Yeah. So in this context, Eric Kirk has just lost her husband. Literally in this context, we're talking about within that first 49-hour period. She just lost her husband. Her children have just lost their father. So I know as a parent, you deal with your own grief, but you would focus on your children's grief too. You would focus on, actually, do you know what? I know I've lost my husband, but my kids no longer have a father. And I
I
think that
just
would hit you really, really hard. And there's no show of that at any point from the time that Charlie was assassinated to even now. I've not seen anything that conveys anything from Erica that there's any care for her kids and how they are.
yeah, I like I said, I still find it just bizarre that within, a few days, a week of Charlie dying, she's sequin suit, leather pants, walking out on stage like she's about to present a TV show. Like, this is your life, or, you know, this is like I'm trying to think of like some Razzmatazz game show. Right? It's
Oh,
just
she
like,
did.
guess what
So
you're going to
in
win this week?
well, in her early career before she married Charlie Kirk, that's exactly what she did. She presented Hollywood TV shows.
Yeah, yeah, of course, but like you're saying, it's where's the bit where you're you've not opened the curtains for a month and you're just staying at home with the kids. Somebody's just assassinated your husband. Why are you still not scared that something's going to happen to your kids? That something's going to
Mm.
happen to you? You don't
Yeah.
know anything about this person. You don't know if they've caught the real culprit. You don't know if he was working alone. You don't know if there was a network of people who are after the Kirk family. And like I said, you're out there as though you're presenting the raffle to somebody that's won a Lamborghini.